Hey, I'm Dan. I am the CEO and founder of Dan's Pet Care, and today I am here to provide you, the pet parent, with the best questions that you should be asking your dog walkers and pet sitters before hiring them. So before we get started, I'd like to give you a little bit about me. I am Dan, CEO of Dan's Pet Care. We have been in business for over 13 years now. We have completed over 300,000 visits. We have cared for over 5,000 animals. We were named 2021 Pet Sitter of the Year, among many other awards. I have been working with animals professionally for over 20 years. I worked as a vet tech at a local animal hospital before starting this business, but my number one priority and passion is caring for animals. So this list is made specifically for pet parents in mind to make sure that you have the information you need to be able to ask anyone you're hiring who's going to care for your fur babies. How long has somebody been in business? Now, when I first started, obviously, I had no experience of being a business owner or working as a pet care professional in the dog walking field, but I had lots of experience working with animals in animal hospitals. So this is something, again, you can do research prior to meeting with the pet care professional. You could check their website, you could check their Google reviews. You do want to find somebody who hopefully has a few years of experience under their belt, whether as a professional pet care service provider or working in the veterinary field or working in shelters. You need somebody who not only has the business sense to run the business, but more importantly, the experience to actually properly care for your pets and be able to cover all aspects of day-to-day operations of caring for animals. This also applies to solo dog walkers and people who do this on the side. At the end of the day, it's very important to make sure whoever you are hiring has the experience and know-how to properly care for your pets. So, one very important question you should ask your pet care professional is, what experience do you have caring for animals? You don't want to hear answers like, oh, I've had my own dogs, or I've taken care of my neighbor's dogs here and there. You really want to find somebody who has been doing this at least for a year and has spent time really being able to implement these services successfully and repeating it over and over again. You don't want someone who's just saying, oh, I've had a dog. Yes, that's great that you've had a dog, but are you going to know what happens if my dog has a seizure, or if the dog gets off leash, or this happens or that happens? There are so many scenarios that pet care professionals run into, and they need to be able to have an answer for those kinds of questions. So ask them the important question of, what kind of experience do you have caring for animals? And if they don't have an answer for you, that is a big, big red flag. Another question you're going to want to ask is, do you offer a free consultation? Chances are, before you have somebody coming to your home to walk your dog, you're going to speak to them on the phone or via email. They should explain this on their website. At least a good professional will say how their process works in terms of onboarding. You really want to make sure that the person who's coming to care for your animals or a member of that team is going to come there before the first visit. You always need to make sure that there is a good fit between the pet care service provider and your pets, because at the end of the day, I've been with thousands and thousands of different dogs. They don't always love me. And these kinds of things do come into play. And it's very important that you do have that consultation meeting. So what should be happening during these consultation meetings? They should come to the house. They're probably going to have a list of questions. How am I accessing your home? Is there any alarm? Where is your pet's food? Is there any medication? Is there anything that I should know about your pet? Where's the leash, collar, and harness? They should go through every aspect of caring for your animal, and that should be covered during the consultation. If they do not require a consultation, that should be a big red flag for you. They should be having all of this information ready to go before that first visit is implemented. So definitely make sure that the pet care service provider offers some sort of consultation, whether it's free or paid. You want to make sure you have this meeting take place prior to the first date of service. Another very important question, are you bonded and insured? And if yes, can you provide proof of insurance? So again, I've been in business for 13 years. When I first started, that was one of the first things I did, was getting bonded and insured. Bonding is insurance that makes sure that if something goes missing in your home of value, that is going to be covered. Now, knock on wood, we at Dan's Pet Care have never experienced something like this, but as companies grow and they hire people, even if they run background checks and do all the right things, sometimes people don't always do the right thing by a company and by a client. Bonding is very important to make sure if something of value goes missing from your home, that can be replaced by that policy. Now, insurance, on the other hand, is going to cover any incidents that take place with your pet out in the field or in your home under the care of that company. So if something goes wrong, that insurance policy should cover it. It's very important that when you ask a company, are you bonded and insured, they can at least prove to you that they are bonded and insured. You could ask them for a copy of their insurance. They may not be comfortable with this, but again, If they can provide you with a certificate of insurance or some sort of proof, that should put your mind at ease. But again, if someone is not bonded and insured, that is a big red flag and it's something you really want to keep an eye out for. So this is for those of you who are looking to hire a solo dog walker or pet sitter. I was a solo dog walker when I first started, but things in life happen. People get sick, there are car accidents, things can come up, and you want to make sure that there is a backup plan in place if that does happen. So asking your solo provider if they have a backup plan if something happens to them. If they don't, again, big red flag. You want to know that there is somebody who can come in, who knows your animal, and can provide the care. If God forbid there was an emergency of some type, they can ensure that your pets are cared for if they are unable to do so. How will I know my pet has been cared for? Now, when I first started, a lot of the technology that exists now did not exist. You didn't have great cameras like Furbo, PetCube, and all the other great products out there. There weren't collars like Tractive or Fi or Whistle, so you would know where your pet was at all times. None of this really existed. It is so important to be able to verify from the company that your pet has been walked, where the pet was walked, and what took place on that walk. There are great platforms out there. One that we use is called Time to Pet, and that provides a full GPS verified map of where your dog was walked. It also includes photos of your pet on the walk. You'll get a visit summary, so you'll be notified of what your dog did. Did they poop? Did they pee? How was their stool? Was their urine regular? Were they happy? Were they sad? This also should allow you the ability to provide feedback directly to the pet care service provider if you need anything clarified or if you have any questions. But again, transparency is key. If a company is not willing to provide you with this information, big red flag. You want to make sure that you know when and where your pet was walked, and if you can't do that, you should probably look for another company. Let's talk references. So there's many ways you can check on how a company has done in the past. We have been building up our Google Yelp reviews for years, so people are able to go right to our pages and they could see every single good, bad, and ugly review that we've had. Knock on wood, we have very few bad reviews. If someone doesn't have a lot of Google reviews, that doesn't necessarily mean they are a bad company. But if they cannot provide you with some references from your community, that's a big red flag. The best thing to do is ask, hey, we would love to work with you, but before we move forward, I would love to speak to a few of your clients and hear about their experience. Usually, a company should have no problem doing this. They'll probably have an existing list of clients that they use for references they would happily provide to you. If a company is not willing to do so, I would potentially look for another company to work with. That being said, somebody might be just starting out. So if they don't have any references of people they've provided services for, if they've worked in the industry, maybe at an animal hospital or a shelter, ask for a reference from there so you know that they at least have proof of experience of working with animals. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you get verification of the work that they've done in the past. A lot of our clients do find us through word of mouth. So a great way to find a reputable company is to ask your friends and family members who do have dogs who live in your community, or check a local Facebook group. We see it constantly, and we see our clients constantly tagging us in these posts. Just get onto your local Facebook group and put in, hey, I'm looking for a dog walker. Do you have any great companies you recommend? People will drop their favorites because when someone has a great experience with a company, they will always be happy to share that with people. Another question you might want to ask is, are you a member of any professional pet care organizations? Now, this isn't a requirement in my opinion, but organizations like Pet Sitters International or the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters provide a ton of great continuing education resources for pet pros. They also have great communities where pet care professionals can communicate back and forth, get information from each other, and learn and grow their businesses from other people like what we have done here at Dan's Pet Care. It is important to see that they are involved with these organizations because usually when someone takes their profession seriously, they do join professional organizations so they can continue to grow and develop their expertise. Again, not a requirement, but it's a really nice thing to have. Now, I know we haven't talked about this, but someone who does join these organizations, I would consider it to be a green flag because they are willing to go that extra mile to learn more about caring for your pets. Chances are they are going to be delivering a better quality of service. What happens if there is an emergency with my pet? If they have a blank look on their face when you ask them that question, or they don't have something available on their website, big red flag. Now, if they have a broken down protocol of step-by-step everything they're gonna do, huge green flag. If they have taken the time to put standard operating procedures to deal with emergencies, natural disasters, a pandemic, anything like that, that is a very good sign that they know what they are doing. You want to always know what's going to happen, especially if you are on vacation in another country and they're going to be the only one coming. What happens if there's a blizzard? Do they have an SUV? Do they have the ability to get to your home? That is something that we have always made sure that no matter what, rain, sleet, or snow, or hellfire, we are always showing up at our clients' homes. And that's one of the most important things, is no matter what, if there's an emergency of any type, that they're able to get there. Now, what happens if there is a medical emergency with my pet? This is another very, very important aspect of this question. Have they asked you for your veterinarian's information? Have they asked you for an emergency contact? They should be asking you these questions. You should not be having to ask this. If you're asking these questions and they don't have anything in place, you should be a little bit mindful of potentially working with these people. It's incredibly important to make sure that whoever you're hiring has a game plan if there is an emergency. They should have a relationship with local vets. They should know where the closest emergency hospital is. These are crucial because at the end of the day, things do happen, emergencies take place, and it's important to know that there is a plan ready to go if something happens to ensure the safety and well-being of your pet. Now, this has to do more with the financial side of things, but it's important to ask your pet care professional, do you have a cancellation policy? Some companies do, some companies do not. We at Dan's Pet Care, we have a 48-hour cancellation policy. So if somebody cancels services during regular business hours, within 48 hours, there is a full charge for that service. The reason most companies do have this is not to take advantage of you as a client, but it's important to remember that these are businesses that require and rely on team members' availability. So when those people make their time available, they need to be able to be compensated for that. So that's why these companies have these in place, but it's important to know what these policies are. Now, along those same lines, some companies also have late booking policies. So you need to know, how much notice do I need to schedule an appointment? Now, again, here at Dan's Pet Care, we have clients who book the day of within a few hours of service. We do charge an additional fee, but there are companies that don't charge this. It's important to know so you could plan accordingly. Now, there's also a chance that they might have a holiday cancellation fee, a deposit fee, or who knows what else. But it's important to ask, do you have a breakdown or schedule of your fees that you charge so that you are aware of what this might cost you? Because pet care services are not inexpensive, and it's important to be able to budget accordingly. At the end of the day, one thing you should never have happen is being blindsided by surprise fees and add-ons. A good company is always going to be transparent with you and provide you with this information up front. And if somebody is not willing to give you this information and they're ambiguous about what their policies are, it might not be the right company for you. You're probably wondering, okay, so I've hired this company. How are they entering my home? Great question. If you don't know what the answer is to that, that's a problem. So when you are doing your consultation with this pet care professional, ask them, how will you be entering my home? At Dan's Pet Care, we don't keep keys. We actually use lock boxes like this. And the reason we use this is it's the most secure way to keep your keys safe and on your property. This way you are in full control of when and how often this key is made available. It's important to know if they're going to be using a lockbox, or do you have a door code number? Do you use a garage? There's many ways you're going to be entering the home. Now, another thing you should probably be asking is, how do you deal with alarms? Now, you as the homeowner, you might not want to give all this information out. So your alarm company should be able to provide you with a different password that's not the master code. Same thing with your garage code. There's a lot of different ways that you could provide people with access to your home. Same thing with the digital access apps like Latch. There's ways you can give people access to the home, but make sure that they do have access to these codes prior to getting to your home. And at all times, make sure that the company and you have an idea of just exactly who has access to your home, because it's very important for your home security. Now, this is for someone who is looking to hire a company rather than a solo dog walker. Chances are there's not going to be just one person caring for your pet. We think that's a good thing because it provides additional socialization with new people for your animal, which is something that is fantastic for them, and it's a great way to have some extra stimulus in their day-to-day. Now, it's important to ask, how is this person going to be trained? Are they being just sent in blindly, or are they going to be trained by a senior team member who knows the dog? In our experience, the best way to do this is to have the introduction happen either with you there or by a senior member of the team who knows your pet. This way there's a smooth transition, and if there are any issues, there's someone there to help mitigate that and make sure that your pet is happy, healthy, and safe. Some of you probably have a dog, cat, or other animal in your home that might be on medication. it is very important. Never assume people you are hiring know how to give the medications your pet is on. Now again, here at Dan's Pet Care, we have dealt with a wide variety of different medications. We have tube-fed tortoises, we have given injections to fish, we have done insulin on all sorts of animals. It's very important to ask the specific question about your medication type. Now, the best thing you can do for your pet care professional is provide them with a simple spreadsheet of the dates and times of the medication so that they can just check it off, or ask if they have a way to manage that through their operating system, whether it's Time to Pet, Pet Sitter Plus, or Pet Check, or any of the other great software systems out there. But again, very important to ask, are you able to give my medication type that is needed for my pet? If they're unable to do so, it is very possible for you to train them, but make sure that they are able to tell you and show you they are confident. Sometimes people say, yes, I can give an insulin injection, but they might not be confident, and they also might not be comfortable saying no. Make sure that you see them give the medication once or twice, but make sure you are comfortable, because at the end of the day, they are taking care of your fur baby. It's very important to make sure that that medicine is administered correctly, on time, and when and where it needs to be done. At this point, we hope we've provided you with enough questions for you to feel comfortable and confident in hiring whatever pet care professional you're going to be working with. Now, it's important to remember, you need to know how their billing works. Some companies take just cash, some companies do checks, some companies do credit cards. We at Dan's Pet Care process our credit cards automatically through a portal. So that's used through Time to Pet. A lot of companies should be using some sort of system where you could put your credit card in and you get billed on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, or even an annual basis. It makes it much easier for you. Invoices are all available in one location, and it makes it way easier to deal with all of your billing questions. Now, at the same time we're talking about billing, let's talk tipping. A lot of people ask, what should I tip my dog walker? Should I tip my dog walker? And I will tell you from experience, your dog walker works very hard. People look at this industry as, oh, we're with dogs all day and it's easy. There's a lot that goes into making a high quality pet care professional. They are learning constantly about different ways to care for animals. They're constantly on their feet. They're driving, they're going all over the place, and they work really hard to make sure that your animal has a good time. They're happy, healthy, safe, and secure. Please be sure to tip your pet care professionals. They will appreciate it so much, and it means the world to them when they do get these tips. So make sure you do tip your pet pros, and I hope that these questions have helped you. Our goal is always to provide pet parents across the world with the best information possible, and I think that starts with helping you find the right pet pros to have in your day-to-day life. So we hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet done it, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us anywhere else other than YouTube, make sure to follow us. Drop us a comment if you found these questions to be helpful. And we have an extra bonus for all you pet parents out there. Our friends at The Farmer's Dog have given us an exclusive deal where we can give you 2 free weeks of The Farmer's Dog. This food is fantastic. My dog Ruby absolutely loves it. 2 free weeks. We'd love for you to try it. The link is below. We hope you enjoy it. And if you do like it, let us know. Shoot us a comment. But again, thank you so much for watching. We hope you get some value from these videos, and we look forward to seeing you soon, and have a great day.